My name's Andrew Wilson. I'm a Senior IT Advisor at the University of Stirling. Most of my job comprises of software development, so at present a lot of my time spent on mobile application development and also a lot of software development around the library, so utilising new systems such as a new library entrance system, see what data we can get out of that and really improve the student experience. mStir is our mobile application at the university. Came about maybe about 2 years ago. It was just really, at the start, just a small project that I decided to look at on a whim really. There was a lot of different frameworks out there that were just starting out for developing mobile applications, whether native or web-based. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to see what frameworks were out there, how they could fit in at the university, and really how quickly we could get something up and running. The other reason was as well is that at universities, one of the big problems is data. Data is spread out across lots of different departments, lots of different systems. And I want to see how easy it would be to get some of the key data that you would need for a mobile application, really to see how quick we could really get that. Creating an app for a university is really about negotiation and compromise. Negotiating access to the key data systems across the university and trying to achieve a balance really, trying to achieve a compromise between the data that is available and that we can get easy access to and the expectations of the student body, which is quite a difficult task. I mean, for example, students, one of the key things students wanted and really kind of expected was personalised timetables in a mobile app, but unfortunately our system is set up in a way that it's not an easy system to get access to. So one of the biggest challenges that we faced was trying to get this balance really between the expectations of the students and what we could actually deliver. And the way we kind of did this really was that we looked at what functionality the students really wanted. We used student survey data and discovered the key devices that we should really target from the student survey data and the types of services that the audience actually wanted. The service, although in beta format, kind of launched in about 2010, and it was launched with a lot of the key functionality that the students actually wanted. Bus times, cinema times, alerts from the VLE, access to the library catalogue, that kind of thing. So the way we did get it launched quite quickly was we were trying to really match the quick wins of the easy access data that we're talking about with the desires of the students, and we kind of weighted them that way. Cross-departmental working groups were also set up to oversee and discuss the functionality of the app and actually like the future functionality as well. We did come up with kind of some useful guidelines for it really, about what sort of services we should add to the app. We thought the services should always be task or experience driven for the user rather than just overwhelmed with bits of information. Examples are, I want to check my grades, I want to check my bus times, that kind of thing, rather than I want to be presented with a big long page of information. We also thought that the information should be in small snippets for access on the move. So when it isn't something task-driven, it should always be just something in small bite-sized chunks and not replicating information that's held anywhere else. And finally, we thought maybe the links to external resources, such as other websites, should be kept to a minimum, so the experience is held as much as we can within the app. The creation of the app eventually came about with us having to decide whether we want to go to the native route or the web app route. We decided on a web app for the time being because back in 2010, 2011 the mobile industry was still quite turbulent, so we wanted to make it as future-proof as we can, which a web app does allow us to do. So we went down the web app route and we looked at various web app frameworks, some specific to universities and some that were more generic that we would have to build around. We did go for one that was based on MIT Mobile Web and then customised it quite a lot to suit our needs. The system kind of developed quite quickly after this. after the beta was launched quite quickly, probably within a few months of us deciding the direction, with various functionality, free PCs, printer availability, bus times, library catalogue access, a lot of the key things the student wanted. And the app, over the last few years, various services have been added to it, and now we have, I think, over 20 different services. And we still meet regularly, the cross-departmental group, to decide what should be on the app and how to take it forward, and there are quite a lot of interesting future developments. Student feedback was generally excellent, with a few reservations and technical glitches reported. Students really found the sort of time-sensitive, quick access information snippets, such as bus times and PC availability, the most useful. With other sort of more generic sections they found a bit less useful, such as just an A to Z of information that we had in there. Students, one of the things that we did find though was students, they report they would prefer a native app to a web app. Even though you can add the web app onto your home screen and it then performs almost like a native app, they still just wanted to access the app via an app store and download it, rather than, even if it's just once, go to a website and then bookmark it or add it to their home screen. A few of the things with the infrastructure at university also prevents it from maybe being used a bit more. We use a VPN on campus, so the steps that a student would have to use to get access to the app if they were on campus would be that they would have to connect to a Wi-Fi first, and then they would have to connect to our VPN, and then they could use the app. So it's almost like there is maybe that one extra too many steps for the students just to straight away use it. Having said that, quantitatively we get maybe 60-70 individual uses a day from students, which isn't too bad, and it is steadily growing. The future of mStir looks very good at the moment, actually. We've taken on board what the students have said about wanting native apps, and we are currently redesigning and redeveloping mStir to use a HTML5 framework that will not only give us a web app like we currently have, but also have native Android and iOS apps as well, with all the benefits that go along with that, such as offline storage and other functionalities such as GPS integration. At the same time as that, we're also still looking at other services we can always add to mStir, and we're currently trying to get access to some of the student records information, so we can start to create much more personalised information for the students on their apps, so they can check their grades, they can check how far through the registration process they are, and this will get added to the other personal things we have on there at the moment, which is such as our VLE notifications and personalised podcasts from lectures and that kind of thing.